everyone, and welcome to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse for CTN's live coverage of high school wrestling. It's the season opener for the Coon Rapids Cardinals as they host the Maple Grove Crimson. Also have Zimmerman in attendance for a tri-meet here tonight, and the Thunder will face the Crimson in match number 2, and then Coon Rapids and Zimmerman in the final match of the evening. Joe Yund along with Bill Hupp ringside, and exciting to see these types of events. Big tournament here tomorrow night as well. Those types of tournaments and things were banned last year because of COVID. So just another sign that things are getting back toward normal.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always fun when you can get multiple dual meets in the same night. You can see different teams, see how you match up against wrestling teams that have different wrestlers that are good at different weight classes. So it's always a test, and it's fun just to sort of gauge your progress as a team over the course of the season. And if you're a wrestler, say you go out and lose your first match, you get instantly a chance for retribution in the next one. And so it's one of those funny sports that you're never too high or too low because there's always that next match to wrestle.
Well, and for Coon Rapids, they have the tri-meet tonight. They have they'll have 3 meets tomorrow with the tournament. That's the Board Highland Duels. Next week, they have a tri-meet on Thursday. A duel against Andover on the tri-meet is with Blaine and Centennial. Andover duel on Friday, and then on Saturday they will be in Hastings for another dual tournament. So they will get a lot of action in a very short amount of time, and a very young team for Coon Rapids. They lost 12 seniors to graduation, including all 6 state entrants. They had 5 all-state wrestlers last year, 1 state champion. Those guys all gone. They do have a handful of guys back that bring varsity experience, but a lot of new faces and a lot of guys that have to step up into new roles, and they expect much bigger things from them early in the season.
And yeah, there's no question that wrestling is one of those experienced sports. And at the end of the day, the more matches you wrestle, seemingly the more experience, the more confidence you'll be. And it is really one of those things that it's a confident sport at the end of the day.
So at 106, we start with Cardinals Jack Bridenstine against Evan Kilgard of Maple Grove. And, for Coon Rapids, their power was middle to upper weights last year. They had a undefeated state champion heavyweight last year that filled that role incredibly well over the last 2 seasons. But again, they're going to find that the lower weights, they don't have a lot of depth. Just a couple of guys that can fill these 106 and 113 spots, and so seeing how quickly they progress and what they can do will come a long way to showing what kind of success they can have as a team. As Bridenstine gets the early takedown and looking for a cradle, he's got Kilgard in some trouble early in this first round. And
yep,
he's
and
got
he gets
that cradle in,
in,
and Kilgard in a lot of trouble with just under a minute to go in the opening period.
Hooking that leg in and gets the pin.
There's the pin in just 1:11, and that's a great start to his season and a great start to the match for Coon Rapids.
And Joey used that reverse front headlock to scoot around, to bounce the head. He scooted around, got the 2, and then he just was very patient, methodical, as you see here, working that cradle, locked it up, and then rocked it back. And then it was all about hooking that leg inside the other leg right there, and that's what got the mat slap. Great start for Coon Rapids, as you said.
And that's how you want to start your season, young Bridenstine, just an 8th grader.
Yeah, and you see that obviously a lot at the lower weights in the state of Minnesota. A lot of 7th and 6th grade, or 8th grade wrestlers rather. And those kids sometimes, if they're good, they can make state as many as 6 times. Some of these kids, you see them placing at state a ton.
So Ethan Hong for Maple Grove at 113 will face off against Yaya Sidibe of Coon Rapids.
We were just talking about him before the match. Excellent soccer player.
Yeah, he will be a key cog for the Cardinals soccer team next year with Yukon Harmon moving on. Yaya very quick and has good ball skills. I'm not sure if he's what his wrestling experience is, but he's able to counter well as Hong went for the shot, and Yaya reversed it and gets the takedown for himself, and now working from the top.
Yeah, he looked pretty good on that one, countering that initial shot attempt and just kind of overpowered. He's a pretty strong-looking 113-pounder.
Well, and Hong just a 7th grader, where Sidibe is a junior, and that does definitely make a difference just in physical and mental maturity. Despite, wrestling, of course, wrestling experience goes a long way as well.
He's overpowering him right there.
And Hong got him in the headlock, got him turned to his back, going to get the takedown plus some near fall points.
Sidibe doing well to just stay off his back.
Well, he went in for the double leg, and that time Hong was the one with the good counter move, and now you see Sidibe reversing it. He's going to get 5 points for the takedown and the near fall. But then the reversal.
What a wild first period, though.
Quickly a 6-4 lead for Hong as we're down to the last 23 seconds in the opening period. And Hong very close to closing it out and evening the match score with a pin for the Crimson.
Yeah, he very nearly had a defensive fall. But again, Sidibe using that strength to get out of it.
Coach Adam Tronson trying to get Sidibe to swing around and get a takedown right there in the final seconds. Here's a look at Yaya getting in and looking for that double leg, but Hong getting the headlock and getting him turned to his back.
And obviously, if he's a 7th grader wrestling on varsity, he's pretty good. So, but yeah, to your point, that maturity, that physical and mental maturity, from what, 12 to 17 can be huge.
Well, and I missed a point there. I saw where Hong chose down and Sidibe let him get up, which is a 1-point escape. But they awarded him 2 points, so it's up to an 8-4 score on the board.
Hong keeps getting in on shots, but Sidibe is able to counter those, and he's very heavy hips and able to fight it off. It's been a very interesting sort of back and forth match we've had.
And Sidibe, you'll watch when he shoots, he's not getting in quite deep enough and allowing Hong the opportunity to counter, and that time good job staying away from him, getting swung around for the takedown.
And Joe, this may be one of those matches where the winner is the one who gets less gassed in the 3rd period, because it is full throttle right now. 10-6 now.
And you hear the call from the Maple Grove bench telling Hong to stay on him because he's tired. And just to your point, a lot of fast action back and forth, and now Hong just driving and gets the takedown. And he gets the pin late in the 2nd period and evens the match at 6 apiece.
Yeah, Sidibe looked pretty gassed there, and I think when he's gotten to that point, you can see his technique is not as good. He doesn't get in his stance as well. And so, as you see here, he was able to be reverse. He just a little sloppy, and then ultimately Hong just overpowered him moving forward.
And you see he just
patted him on the back.
Kind of done.
2 pins to start things here.
So that moves us to 120. Connor Peterson for Maple Grove against Jaden Caffey for Coon Rapids.
Ooh, near good ankle pick initially, but Caffey steps out of it.
Again, getting to that left angle. Caffey trying to get away, but Peterson able to pick up that leg, get control, and trip him down for the takedown.
Now he's trying to set it up to where he can turn him for back points. He's got the figure 4 ride going.
And the quarter Nelson, and Caffey trying to work his way outside the ring and able to do so. But 2 back points.
Those near fall points can really add up. As you see the takedown here, he just had the high crotch single and then executed the takedown from that treetop pretty cleanly.
Again, going to the quarter Nelson and using it to spin Caffey to his back, and Caffey right in the middle of the mat in a lot of trouble.
He's trying to bridge out of it. Peterson's in pretty deep.
Almost too high, but able to force him to the mat in 1 minute and 23 seconds.
We saw him warming up before and thought he could be one of Maple Grove's tougher wrestlers in their lineup. As you see, he gets the boots in here, and as you said, executes that quarter Nelson, pushing the head down, getting the turn, just cranking on that shoulder.
So Jaden Lilly for Coon Rapids will win at 126 with a forfeit.
Looks like it's going to be Tyler Herr for Coon Rapids at 132 against Price Tony. Oh,
I think
maybe not. They might have forfeited.
Did they just forfeit at 132 as well?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to 138.
Another forfeit for Maple Grove. So 3 straight.
Israel Madimba looks like the freshman picked up a win by forfeit at 138.
Hey, he comes from a long line of Cardinal wrestlers. So this is Tristan Hargrave against Max Johnson at 145.
Hargrave, another freshman.
Yeah, his older brother Riley was the Cardinals' 220 wrestler last year for most of the season.
I wonder if the Max Johnson hair dye job is from football. It's from their trip to the state championship. Just a speculation. I don't know, Joe. They had quite the team, though, this year, didn't they?
Well, he's in quick with a very quick double leg takedown and then quickly lets him go.
Yeah, this feels like it might just be takedown, release, trying to rack up that 15-point tech fall. If he feels
Unless he
can
can take him straight to his back.
Right.
Well, and Johnson ranked highly. He's number 5 in the state.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of wrestler he is. Some guys are more pinners than others.
Got Hargrave turned for a little bit. He'll get a couple of near fall points.
He's got that wrist control too, which allows him to just run it through and turn him.
Got the chicken wing now.
He's a pretty strong-looking 145 too.
Well, and again, you're talking the physical maturity of being a junior versus a freshman. You can do 2 more years in the weight room, and you come a long way from being 14 to 16. And he is really cranking on that shoulder. He's got Hargrave rolled over, and that's the end of that one.
Coming with 10 seconds left in the first. And he just has it cranked and he just turns him over. Nothing Hargrave could do.
Already midway through this match. And max points in every weight class. 3 by forfeit and 4 by pin.
24-18 our score, I believe.
Correct.
For the Crimson at 152, we have Noah Fox. For the Cardinals, we have Carlos.
We hope to have some wrestling to bring you.
So Noah Fox, the wrestler for Maple Grove at 152, and Carter Skradsky, one of the Cardinal sophomore captains, and boy, he got in quick, got a takedown, got the cradle applied, and just trying to get Fox turned over, and Fox doing everything he can to get back to his base.
Credit to him, he does. But that cradle is there. Skradsky's so long, which always helps when you're on top.
Rolls him over, and Fox in some trouble trying to roll out. 2 near fall points. Got the leg in deep, trying to go back to that cradle on the left side.
He wants to grab that inside wrist and turn him. There's a pretty good crossface as he's looking to rack up the cradle.
And he's got it, and Fox is in a world of hurt, put the knee into his back, get the leg in. And how long can Fox keep that elbow underneath him and keep the bridge? Can he ride it out for 15 more seconds? Kicks the foot out.
So you can see the ref gets down there.
There it is with 5 seconds left in the first. So we've seen 5 pins in all 5 matches that have hit the mat have been pins, and only 1 has made it to the second period.
How it goes in high school wrestling, and then each team sort of takes turns trading weight classes that they don't have wrestlers for. So Bob must be pretty pleased with how it's going so far, 30-18 lead.
So Grant Sandell for Maple Grove against Cardinals senior captain Josh DuBois.
DuBois off like a shot, pun not intended, as he got that takedown about 2 seconds into this match.
Well, and DuBois had an injury, so missed all of last season. And wants to have a strong finish here. He was obviously the quarterback. Well, he tried to head toss and got caught.
Yeah, he
gave up a takedown, but then a quick escape. And then a headlock and takes Sandell right to his back.
What a throw by DuBois.
I'm a big fan of the headlock / hip toss and the 50-second pin for Josh DuBois.
Yeah, that was pretty immediate. Ironic that a quarterback has such an excellent throw on the wrestling mat, too. That was impressive. And what do you know, Joe? Another first period pin.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the headlock, got the hip out in front of him, and there's not much you can do when your hips, when your opponent's hips are in the way and your head is going over, you're going to go straight to your back.
Yep. And he just kind of bodied him up and that hip toss.
Nick Wetland is the...
Looks like Hunter Allen is bumped up from 160 to wrestle at 170, the junior.
And he gets the early takedown.
Sometimes that when you get to this weight, the weight difference doesn't always matter when it's just one weight class around. The multiple whistles are.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I've never understood that. How you could tell if that was the whistle from your mat or the one next to you, but
I think they're getting a blood time maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must just be because of the immediacy of it. If someone's blowing the whistle right next to you, you just must get used to that, as he's got a cut on his forehead. Wetland does. Cardinals maybe a win away from locking this up.
Well, it looks like Allen's over getting his nose tended to.
So maybe it was Allen.
Yeah, he's got the plug.
I see that singlet with the, and it reminds me very much of the Atlanta Hawks logo from like the late '90s. With the bird with the
on the back
facing the thing, yeah.
Yeah, the wrestling team has some unique mascot depictions. I like them. A very threatening looking cardinal on the mat.
Yeah. I mean, the cardinal we have on our graphic just looks mad. Or vaguely disappointed anyway.
Vaguely disappointed. I like that. That's mildly upset.
That's right.
Irritated.
That's right.
Wetland trying to get in on this shot. Allen able to keep him at bay. Swings his hips back into the ring.
We may have our first match that goes the distance. I don't want to jinx anything. But these two wrestlers seem fairly evenly matched. Good job pulling to that single.
Got in deep, but Wetland able to escape.
That's the key for some wrestlers, is just learning how to finish shots. It's one thing to get in on them, but if you can't finish them, it doesn't do you much good. Heavy hips, pushing the head.
Wentland trying to control the head of Allen as he gets in on that single leg.
And now he'll try to counter. Oh, nice job by Allen.
And so Allen will have a 4-1 lead at the end of the first period. Only the second time we've seen a match go to the second period.
And you see that Wentland had the headlock, but then Allen was able to pop the head out and get the takedown. He'll start the second period on bottom.
Able to get to his feet and get the escape pretty quickly.
Good counter wrestling.
And he got the takedown right on the edge of the mat. Builds that lead to 7-1. Trying to work on that left arm of Wentland and get the arm bar in.
Not doing much on bottom.
Looked for the cradle as well, but
scramble.
Always interesting to watch. You see a lot of guys go to the same moves over and over again.
They're calling clenched hands.
You can tell what they had practiced that week because everybody's doing that same move.
Right. Pretty good though if you can take what you're drilling every day and put it into practice.
Award a penalty point to Wentland.
And they say clenched hands for Allen, but he's riding very tough on top. Not letting Wentland get much going. And Allen is technically weighed in anyway as the 160-pounder.
Goes to that half Nelson and gets Wentland turned, and Wentland got his head, using the legs to control the head and try and get him pushed to his back. Down to the final 15 seconds here in the second period, just trying to force him to the mat. Wentland, a good bridge. Get himself some time, and this may get him to the buzzer. And it will, just before. 3 more points will make it a 10-2 lead for Hunter Allen.
I was afraid I'd maybe spoken too soon when I said it was going the distance, but credit for bridging and getting it out. You see here, just turns him over and then goes to work. And a quick takedown in the third period here.
Gets himself right back in control where he was all of the second period, and that is taxing on the endurance of Wentland.
He's just trying to grab that wrist and work him over.
Getting him turned right at the edge of the mat, and Wentland in a lot of trouble again with a lot of time. He does a nice job, good upper body strength to keep himself from being pinned.
He's very methodical with setting up his points too. He's got 3 in the
bag. He got him off the mat though. That'll be 3 more near fall points.
So now he could either go for the technical fall or which he just needs with 2 more near falls.
If he gets him turned, he's got to go all the way, or he's going to get the technical. But he'd certainly like that extra bonus point. Like to finish with all 6, but
and get a fall. Yeah. He just keeps going back to that same. It's pretty interesting scrambling wrestling though. I like how patient he is with his approach.
And using his feet as well.
Looks like he's going to have to settle for the major decision here.
And that's a semi-win for Wentland that he was put toward his back so many times and able to avoid giving up those extra 2 team points.
Yeah, that he didn't get pinned is a win for Maple Grove. Keeps them somewhat in this team race. Although with a 40-18 lead, I believe.
With four matches left. And this is the Cardinals' other sophomore captain, Kenny Wells. And he'll face Julian Stevens, who listed as a 170-pounder. Good quick toss from Kenny Wells. Wells spent some time on the Minnesota Cadets national team over the summer, and he's excited to get his high school season going and use some of that experience he had in the summer to hopefully become a force. He wants to be a guy that strikes fear in the opponent when he steps onto the mat. He's got a couple more years of high school ahead of him, and he wants to kind of make a name for himself this year. That will become something that other teams know it before they face Coon Rapids that they're going to have to deal with Kenny Wells.
Well, certainly when you can represent a state like Minnesota in cadet, it's a pretty big accomplishment, and it should give a young man like Wells confidence when he steps on the mat.
Really nice kid, and he talked about how hard he worked in the off season and how excited he was to use that, transfer that experience to the high school season.
And he's dominating Stevens so far, just overpowering him, which kind of a brawler at 182. Good throw.
Well, and again, Stevens, listed as a 170, so the higher you go up, the bigger a jump it is to go up to that next weight class.
Yep, for sure. I always think it's interesting that they don't have 220 pounds in college, but they do in high school. He's just putting on a takedown clinic right now.
An 8-2 lead for Kenny Wells at the end of period number 1.
I think it's something, Joe, that doesn't get talked about enough. But Minnesota is one of the best states out there for wrestling. There's a lot of quality wrestlers that come out of this state. As you see him snap the head down, get him to his back, and just kind of overpower him.
Wells starting out on top here in period number 2.
Joe, how many football players are also wrestlers?
That's a good question. I don't know. Obviously, Du Bois, and we see David Jeebley, who has never wrestled before. He's a standout running back. He's got some of the biggest thighs I've ever seen on a high school athlete. I'll tell you, anybody who tries to go for that kid's legs is going to be in for a big surprise, because the kid doesn't miss leg day in the gym for sure. But I don't know. Outside of that, I know that Tristan Hargrave is a football player. He's just a 9th grader, so I'm not entirely sure.
Jeebly also at this weight class.
Yeah, and we'll see how much he gets in and what he does when he's out there. But he's a very strong, very physical kid. And like I said, you see some of these guys who are really muscular, but you don't see many kids with thighs like Jeebly's got. He's a man-child, and he has been since his sophomore year.
He's got the cradle locked up.
Stevens able to kick his way out of it pretty quickly, though. And at least get back to his stomach.
18 seconds still to work. And he slipped out of it. There you go.
Not going to be able to force him to the mat in time. He will add 3 more back points.
Oh, Wells puts his hands to his face. Thought he had it, but see him hopping over here.
He's got a very convincing 13-3 lead as we start the third in the neutral position. And if you're Stevens with this big deficit, you've got to look for something that you can not only get the takedown, but try and get him to his back.
Right, you want to do a throw or something, some big move.
Tried to get in for the single leg, and he got caught, and now he's going to be in trouble if Wells can break the grasp on his legs and get turned around behind him.
He's got that reverse headlock now. Well, no. Credit to Stevens, drives forward and gets the 2. Wells hoping to hang on to at least pick up the 8-point major decision for the team, 4 points.
Well, and at this point, any win clinches the victory for the Cardinals.
Right.
Only 3 more weight classes after this.
Has Jeebly committed anywhere to play running back? Is he planning to play in college?
Not that I am aware of. Oh, Stevens nearly got caught trying to get him turned over. He had a quarter Nelson, but slipped out of it. Wells slipped out of it. And
I remember Jeebly as a sophomore seeing him play and thinking he was good. 100 yards in a game, I called.
Yeah, he averaged over 6 yards a carry this season and over 100 yards a game. On escape and a takedown pushes the lead to 16-5, and with 5 seconds left, that's the way it's going to end. It'll be another major decision for the Cardinals, and that will clinch their victory over the Crimson.
Nice win for Stevens, or for Wells, rather.
Yeah, and a good start to his season. He would have loved to have finished that pin, especially when he was so close at the end of the second period. But a convincing victory is always good. And as you mentioned earlier, he's got another chance to get on the mat later tonight. Jared Van Vickel.
So they're gonna, looks like Maple Grove's gonna forfeit at 195. No wrestlers at 220, so we go right to heavyweight.
Jared Van Vickel, one of my all-time favorite kids to coach. I coached him in baseball a few years ago, and just such a great kid, a great attitude.
Seems like he's pretty fun-loving. That was Kevin Shavira Manili, who took the win at 220.
And as you mentioned, that'll bring us all the way to the heavyweights. And this will be Hayden Skillings for Coon Rapids. And he'll have his hands full. This is Lewis Harrow for Maple Grove. He is ranked 8th in the state at heavyweight. As I talked about earlier, this spot's been filled pretty effectively for the Cardinals, and this has been a win for the Cardinals for the last 2 years. Gavin Layton in his junior and senior seasons. We're double checking on the Maple Grove wrestler.
Potentially Hunter Zupke.
But as I was saying, Gavin Layton has been their heavyweight the last few years. He only lost one match in the last 2 seasons. That was the state championship his junior year. Other than that, undefeated for 2 seasons. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I happened to call that state championship match where he lost. Tough match. But yeah, just rare to find someone like you said, Joe, before this. He's all muscle. He's a big-framed kid, athletic, quick on his feet. Just unique skill set for a heavyweight high schooler.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see. He's at Augsburg now where he's wrestling and playing football. This is Harrow. We're getting confirmation. It'll be interesting to see what they do to him because he's big, he's strong, but he's not. It's all natural. And you get to the college ranks and they start putting in nutrition plans and workout plans for you and really packing the muscles on, and to see how big that kid will get and how strong, he will be very, very dangerous. So here with Skillings going against the number 8 guy, this is a good test to start the season. He knows that the team has already clinched the victory, but to go out there and have a good showing, especially if he can avoid being put to his back, that's a good way to start his season. Obviously, it's his first opportunity to wrestle heavyweight at the high school level. Again, with that position having been locked up the last few years by Gavin Layton.
Skillings just a freshman, so time to grow into that heavyweight role.
Harrow starts in the down position, gets an early escape. That's the first point in this match early in the second period. Skillings trying to get in for a double leg. Harrow gets the headlock on from the front, trying to whip and get behind him, and he does. Getting to the side, half Nelson to get Skillings turned over, and Skillings in a lot of trouble, and there it is.
And the experience of Harrow really paying off there for the senior as he just got him down, worked him to the side, and overpowered him.
And that match goes about as fast as it can with how many pins we saw. We only saw two matches go the distance, both major decisions for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. You had pins in every other match that hit the mat. 4 forfeits for Maple Grove. Of course, the difference is Coon Rapids wins 56-24.
Yeah, good start for the Cardinals. Even their record on the season at 1-1. Maple Grove falls to 0-2, but yeah, the Cardinals with some impressive performances.
No, this is the first match for Coon Rapids. So
Oh,
they're
it is.
1-0.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly how they wanted to start, and here's what we have coming up. We have boys basketball home opener against St. Paul Harding. They're actually at Forest Lake tonight, opening their season. They'll have their home opener against Harding right here on Tuesday. Howie will be back for that one. Girls basketball next Friday against Rogers, and then more girls basketball against Park Center Pirates on Tuesday, December 14th. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Coon Rapids 56, Maple Grove 24. Want to thank you all for joining us and continue to support everything we do here at CTN. Want to thank Bill Hupp for joining me and helping out today. For all of us at CTN, I'm Joe Young saying good night.